Hey everyone, just want to do a quick talk through of the pre-roll video that we're rolling out from this weekend onwards. So this will take place over our 1 minute 2 space that we've been doing. The big idea really here is that it keeps our theme of lasting impact front and center, that we start every weekend service speaking the language that we've been putting into the vision of this year, and then also just helping to bring that energy up and just have that big call to worship as we start. So hopefully you've had a chance to look at the video already. If you were at the team launch, you would have seen it there. But I'll just do a really quick walk through. It kind of has 3 movements that you can see in the different colors here. And this final C section is when the band jumps in. So we'll bring that live element over the top of the last minute or so, and that lifts us up into the worship set. So just to do a quick step through, I'll just hit play. So you can see the visuals have that kind of more landscape effect. The music's a bit more cinematic. It starts us off here. Let me jump in a little. As it builds, we start to get Jesus' words. That'll build up, and it takes us into this B section, and then starts looking at the city. It talks about God really choosing us. We get to be a part of His mission. Builds up the feel and the energy a bit more with these drums. Gets to the end of this section, and then it finally has that feeling of stepping into the church. Not just the church service, the church community. People is what we're really all about. And so let me jump in. So as it starts to build, we start seeing Crossway, and then we start layering the live band on top of that. So there you go. And from there, we just go straight into the worship set. Worship leader be up and welcoming everyone. But it sets our energy levels up nice and high to really kick it off strong. So in terms of what the band's doing in that final part, it's a really easy progression in terms of just the chords. It's just a G, A minor, F, C progression. Just does that round and round a few times. Where it gets a little bit complex is you'll hear every second chord is quite anticipated. So it actually comes on the 3 and beat. So if you're kind of nodding your head to it as it's playing, you'll notice every second chord comes in as your head would be going up. It's on that off beat. Let me just play it again. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1, 2, 3. So other than that, very straightforward. Let me actually just play it without the backing track so you can hear what the band is playing. Try that again. I started turning down the master, not the backing track. pulling the backing track out, you hear what the band is doing. So bass and hats to begin with. Bring the kick in. And there's a little synth sweep up into this drop. Hold, and then all in. So the final progression, those final 4 bars just have that 16th building up and then ending on the F. It's more like an F sus2. You can hear that sort of suspended chord at the end, which I think helps set it up to, it just has a nicer feel to it rather than just the straight F. I'll show you exactly what it's doing there. So just to dig in a little bit deeper, I think it's fairly straightforward. Don't mean to be too prescriptive, but just to, I think hopefully to help show what's going on. Starting with the drums, really easy. So the hats, adding the kick. And then a little lifted dynamics here. Hold, and then just strong on the 4 on the floor. 4 on the floor with that 16th driven hi-hat. And then finally the 16th on the snare, building up. Trash can ending there, pretty straightforward. Coming back a bit more, so the bass helps build these dynamics at the front end here. Long notes to begin with, and then as the kick comes in, go to quarter notes, and then to the 8th note driven. Fairly straightforward. I think if you want to challenge yourselves to get some of those little extra notes that are going on in there, that's cool. But the main thing is to just get those strong, accentuated chord changes there. And I think another thing that really helps build the dynamics is that final run up the octave to the high C. Let me just play that again. Run up there, and then the low F. Cool. The guitar. So the guitar comes in at the all-in section. So it's a fairly driven sound. And one of the things that's going on there is it's playing those kind of sliding chords, but with the 3rd string, the G string, staying open the whole way through. So that's what helped kind of glue those chord changes together. Let me play it again. You might be able to hear it. So that G note just stays consistent the whole way through. Again, pretty steady with those 8th beat. driven on the 8th beats. Finishing with that F2 chord. While we're sort of talking guitars, let me jump down to the acoustic. Again, really similar. It comes in at that all-in section, and it's just a lot of downstrum driven feel. Now, where you play these chords probably doesn't matter so much. This is just the open chord shapes. I think more of it is actually in the right hand with the, again, that 8th rhythm, just the down strums. Go. With the piano, pretty simple, at least to begin with. Long chords here. Again, it's all about catching those accentuated chords. So just the left hand at this point. And halfway through, we'll add the right hand. Fairly simple. Really, the role of the piano at this point is to just, again, help accentuate those anticipated chords, just to help catch those ones. And you see there's a couple points where it plays into the dynamics building up, especially towards the end there. Synth, it's got this tiny little, you can see it even written here, just a little sweep up before it does that 1-bar drop, and then comes in just with some big full chords. Left hand right down in the lower octave, and it's just some pretty simple movements with the right hand. I think I said right hand before. Left hand in the lower octave. Cool. So like I said before, that's I just realized my mic stopped working. So that was really just playing through. It looks a bit more like a C5 chord with an F bass. It just helps to strengthen it as opposed to the straight F chord. Cool. Let me play it all together, just at the same, with all the levels up now. And you'll be able to see it all together. And I'm also going to play the click track and the guide track, which you'll be able to hear as we're doing it. Now, the guide track, it's just to help while we're sort of rolling this out and just while we're still learning how to best do it. It'd essentially be like what a band leader would say as we're doing it, but it's just to help roll it out nice and smoothly. I don't think we'll need it forever. Once we've got it a couple times, we should be able to get rid of it, but just to show you what it's like. Now let me fix that up because it sounds like it's going off the beat. Try one more time. That's better. Bass and hi-hats in. 1, 2, 3, 4. At the kick. 1, 2, 3, 4. And hold. All in. 2, 3, 4. Last time. And trash can ending. 1, 2, 3, 4. So there you go. Like I said, a little prescriptive, at least to begin with. I think after a couple times, the band leaders should be able to do that just fine on their own. We don't need the guide track, but that might just help us initially. Cool. That's the whole idea, really. What I would say also is, as I pointed out before with these 3 movements, by the time we hit this C section, we should really be all on stage with our instruments, ears plugged in, ready to go at that point. So once you hear A, this section here, start moving to get up on the platform. If you're not ready by B, if you start hearing these drums, that's probably time to start running. And if you're not on the platform by now, sprint. Haha. Cool. Hopefully it all comes together nice and smoothly, and this just becomes a great way for us to call people into worship and also keep pushing into this vision of lasting impact every time we get together. Thanks, guys. See ya.